Have you ever really stopped to wonder how we know what happened hundreds or, even thousands of years ago? Well, today, we're going to become historical detectives. We're going to unlock the past and figure out how we piece together the incredible story of us.
I mean, it's pretty easy to find out what happened yesterday, right? You just check the news. But what about 1,000 years ago? Or even further back? How on earth could we possibly know what happened when there's no one left to tell the tale?
Well, the answer is actually pretty thrilling. We don't just read about the past. We investigate it. We literally become detectives, and all of human history becomes our case file, just packed with mysteries waiting for us to solve.
So the first thing to really get is that this whole investigation, it's a true adventure. Studying history isn't about memorizing a bunch of dry facts and dates. No way. It's a journey across time itself.
Think about it like this. History is a journey that can transport us across time and space, dropping us right into another world, a totally different age. It's a world where people's lives were completely different, from the food they ate to the clothes they wore, their beliefs, their entire society.
So why should we even care about these past worlds? Well, let me ask you this. Do you want to understand the world you're living in right now? If you want to get why our society works the way it does, or even who you are, the answers almost always start by looking at how the past has shaped our present.
And just like any good detective, the very first thing we need is evidence. So, what kind of clues do historians actually use to crack the case of the past?
The first big pieces of evidence are written records, and they basically come in two main flavors. On one hand, you've got these fragile texts, used for things like stories, poems, and everyday records. And on the other, you have these incredibly durable records, things carved into stone or metal, totally designed to last forever.
Let's take a closer look at that first category. These fragile, handwritten books are called manuscripts, and the name itself gives us a huge clue. It comes from the Latin word manu, which means hand. Just picture it, scribes carefully writing on these delicate palm leaves or on specially prepared bark from birch trees. Amazing. Now, our second type of clue is the inscription. These are writings that were engraved on much harder surfaces. Kings and rulers absolutely loved these. They could record their orders or, brag about their victories in battle, carving their legacy right into stone for everyone to see, basically forever. And here, you can see a real ancient inscription. I mean, looking at this, you can just feel the weight of history, can't you? This wasn't just some message, it was a statement. It was a physical record designed to outlast entire empires, making sure that a voice from the distant past could still speak to us today.
Okay, so we have our clues, these fragile manuscripts, and those super durable inscriptions. But what's the point of having all this evidence if you don't know what it's telling you? What exactly do these artifacts reveal about what life was like way back when?
Well, these clues open up this incredible window to another world. Through them, we see the grand lives of kings and queens, sure, but we also see the deep religious beliefs people held. We can read about stunning discoveries in medicine and science, enjoy epic poems and plays, and sometimes we get a really precious glimpse into the everyday lives of ordinary people, what they ate, what they were afraid of, what they hoped for.
These clues also show us a world that was always on the move. People traveled for all sorts of reasons. They were looking for work, escaping floods or droughts, trading goods, or sometimes just for the thrill of adventure. And this movement was so important because every time people traveled, they carried ideas with them, which created this rich exchange of cultures and knowledge. Now, having all these clues is one thing, but a detective's most important job is putting events in the right order. To build a solid case, you absolutely need a timeline. So how exactly do we date history? The system that's used in most of the world is based on a single point in time, the estimated birth year of Jesus Christ. So years before that event are counted backwards and get labeled BC for before Christ. And all the dates after that point are counted forwards and use the letters AD, which comes from the Latin Anno Domini, meaning in the year of the Lord. This timeline here shows exactly how it works. You see that year 1 in the middle? That's our center point. Everything in the BC period counts backwards from there. So 200 BC is actually older than 100 BC. Then everything in the AD period counts forwards all the way to today. You'll also see the terms BCE and CE. They stand for Before Common Era and Common Era. They refer to the exact same time periods. They're just the more modern neutral terms a lot of historians prefer to use now.
And that brings us right back to why this all matters so much. History isn't just about what happened back then. It's about understanding right now.
It is how we learn the way our modern world came to be. So the next time you look around, just remember, we are all living on foundations that were built by the people who came before us. The case is always open. The clues are out there. What will you discover?